Hello and welcome to episode 132 of Controller Club, the friendly face gaming space, a podcast where three friends from three different continents share in one love, and that is video games. My name is Kleinfeld, and alongside me today are two of my best friends in the whole wide gaming world. First, coming to us from across the pond, the digital art daredevil himself, Jeff Keighley's biggest fan, Tom Drew. Tom, how are you? What's going on? You excited? Game Awards time.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about some games. It's crazy that the year's gone so fast, and now we're like, looking back on all the year's releases. It's kind of surreal, honestly, to be at this point. But now I'm ready to talk about all these exciting games and a lot of games that I haven't played as well. But that's fine. That's fine.
Did any games even come out this year? I can't remember. It's just all kind of a blur. Next up, it is everybody's favorite Australian, the journalist extraordinaire, Canadian in training, the mother of some daughters. Haven't brought that one back in a while. Lauren Rouse. Lauren, how are the little sea pups? They doing well?
Hello. I believe, are. I don't know if I've shared this story on the podcast yet, but I went to visit them kind of maybe like 3 weeks ago, and they weren't there, which is very odd. So I asked where were they? Where are Tofino and Luna? And they said that apparently it was raining a lot because it rains in Vancouver, newsflash. And apparently they got stressed because they weren't used to it. They are summer otters and they haven't experienced all this rain yet. So they were stressed and needed to be, I guess, put on stress leave and taken behind the scenes to be looked after. So I haven't seen them since, and there haven't been any updates since. So I'm just hoping that they are on the mend and back on display soon because I miss them. Like, she's growing up so quickly. The next time I see her, like, she might be a big otter. I won't even recognize her.
She'll be back. You'll be back. You'll be back together. You'll be reunited. It'll be great. It'll be grand. But that's not why we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about the Game Awards. On today's show, we are going to do as we always do once a year. We are going to go through category by category and predict the winner of every Game Awards category. But before we get to all that, we are going to do as we always do and ask what we've been playing over the last little bit here. Lauren, last week you teased the PS5 is here. It's out. You are no longer stranded to the life of an Xbox Series S. Has it been turned on? Have you been playing anything? What's going on?
Yes, I was very restrained while we were doing Cult of the Lamb because I wanted to give it my full attention, and also I had no time because I was dedicated to the cult. But that time is over, and it's PS5 era, and so I'm now catching up on everything that I missed in the last 3 months, and that has begun with Astro. I know that each of us progressively have played through it on the podcast, so I am just like adding to the trend that is this game is like utterly amazing. Some of the levels that I are in the opening are some of the levels that I played in the preview earlier this year. So it was like cool to see those, but then just to see some of the new ones that I hadn't played was amazing. It's just baffling, like how great a game can be when you just put this, I guess, just this much effort and care into something. That it's just joy in a bottle. Like everywhere you go, everything has a purpose. I just played the Ape Escape level, which was
Oh my
really
god.
fun. So I'm really excited. It's only like 5 levels in, but I just can't wait to see what else they have in store and like how unique each of them are. And yeah, I really wanted to play it before we had this discussion, or at least some of it, so that I knew what I might be voting for. And yeah, spoiler alert, I think it's getting a few votes.
It's a pretty good game. It's pretty all right, Tom?
Yeah, just a little bit. No, I'm so glad you've been playing it, and I can't wait to see what you think of some of the other like PlayStation themed levels as you go through because there are some fun surprises. I won't
Do you
spoil
know
them.
anything, Lauren? You haven't been spoiled? Have you managed to like keep the blinders on fairly
I think
well?
I have actually. There was a lot going
Good.
around when it first came out, but I don't think I've seen anything too significant. I know some characters that appear, but I don't know like how or why, you know?
Hmm.
Okay, we'll check back in on that. Tom, what have you been playing over the last little while here?
Yeah, so last time I kind of rattled off a couple of games that I want to get to, and I did actually fulfill on one of those games, and that's Resident Evil 3. I'm not very far into it, and like I kind of mentioned last time, it's not a very long game. I think I played for like, like a 20-minute session, and I got like two trophies within the span of like 5 minutes, and they're both like story things. So I was like, okay, I guess we're really progressing through this quite quickly. but no, the small part of it that I've played, I've really just loved getting back into the vibe, and it does feel quite distinct to two, because you have the police station in that game. But this is a little bit more like you're in Raccoon City, so it feels a bit more open. I would say. Um, but yeah, I'm just kind of blown away by like just the character animations are just stunning and the lighting is amazing. But yeah, I'm not very far into it, so won't dwell on it too much. But the other game that I did pick up and I've slowly gotten addicted to is Pokemon TCG Pocket. I think you played this a couple weeks ago, right, Klein?
I'm opening my packs every day, Tom. I haven't missed a
Man,
day yet.
oh my god. Well, look, I'm gonna try open the app quickly and talk while it's running here. But it's oh my god, it's gonna ruin my life. I think I've been hesitant to like get into Pokemon trading card collecting because I mean you can see the YouTube viewers can see my room. I've got so much stuff. So I don't need another thing to ruin my life. But this is perfect because it's all just in my phone. I can like open packs free of charge and don't have to worry about it. But the thing is, I might have peaked too early because you get like two free packs like every a day, I guess. And the first two, within the first two packs, I opened this card. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. I opened this card, which is
Oh, the
a
golden
golden
Pikachu.
Pikachu. You can't really see it that well on
No,
YouTube.
it's
Like
so
angle it
bright.
slightly. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, kind of. This is apparently one of the rarest cards in the
Yeah,
game.
that's the chase card. Like that's the most rare card there
Yeah,
is.
and I got it on my like second pack, so I've kind of beaten the game at this point. But it's so
For
addictive.
now, there's
Yeah,
more
for now
cards
they'll add more.
coming.
Yeah, so I mean, I love the artwork. I just love scrolling through and seeing different mons and different art styles and stuff. And the battling is really fun too. I don't know if you've like got into it, Klein, but like it's
I
just
have.
so addictive, and I feel like with the TCG game physically, there's so many rules that I feel like I just find it hard to kind of wrap my head around and keep track of all the things like adding energies to different Pokemon and doing moves and that sort of thing. This really streamlines it and just makes it a lot more, I guess, just beginner friendly. So I've really appreciated that. So yeah, tune in over the next couple of weeks, and I, might have a full collection because I'm just yeah, like you, Klein. I'm just collecting my two packs every day, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
They slow drip like when you start. They do a great job of giving you like so many packs right off the
Yeah,
jump, and then that drip like it comes to a crawl. And now I'm at the point where it's just the two packs every day. I might get like one bonus one every couple days as I accumulate currency, and it is like I was at like a Christmas party the other day and I had to stop what I was doing mid conversation and go, oh, wait. I got to open a pack. And I like pulled up my phone and I held it up in front of everyone. I'm like, look, what do we get? Oh, nice. A Blastoise EX. Like, that's great. And then put it away. But yeah, I'm happy that you are joining me on this island and we can, slowly descend into madness together.
yeah, pretty much. We'll have to add each other as friends so we can like keep
Yeah.
because there's
Yeah. I
bonuses.
want to see your wonder picks. I want to see what you're getting. I
Yeah,
want to take I want to get that golden Pikachu that you had there.
exactly.
That's awesome. I don't have really much to say. I want to quickly shout out, um, kind of gaming related. There is a new video game documentary out that I would suggest if you have any interest in like gaming or these kind of things. I don't think it's nearly as good as like the Psych Odyssey thing that I talked about on the show more than a year ago at this point, but Amazon Prime Video just put out a 4-part documentary about the history of the Madden franchise, which I don't have really any connection to, but it's one of the biggest names in gaming. So I've watched it and it's fine enough. It is interesting. There is a lot of stuff in there that's like, whoa, like I didn't realize that like there was this much lore, but it is cool. It is great. The big thing though that I have been playing, I checked the embargo is up. I put up a blue sky. I put up a tweet. I promised I'd talk here on the podcast about it. There may be a new indie game of the year contender coming in right at the last minute. It was not nominated for any Game Awards. This new game called Anton Blast just came out, Nintendo Switch, PC. It is from the game studio called Summit Sphere, and this game is just an absolute delight. It is essentially a sequel to the old Wario Land games on the Game Boy Advance. So it's a little bit different than your typical platforming adventure like Mario, where it's a lot of running, jumping on enemies. You obviously do that, but this is a lot more chaotic and a lot more fast, and you're like bashing through walls and it's more about like collecting like money or currency in these levels and making your way through the story similar to how you would to Mario. But this is like it's like those Wario Land games if you injected even more like Crash Bandicoot era, like standing outside the Nintendo Corporation with a blowhorn, like just 90s angsty energy. It really, really feels like something from the turn of the century. Like attitude wise, I guess. Like it's got that attitude for sure. And I thought it was just like an absolute delight. I haven't finished it quite yet. I'm quite close, but I'm loving it so far. It is very, very overwhelming when you play it for the first time, just because there's everything has an effect and it's very flashy and this beautiful kind of pixel art, and it's just like it's a feast for the eyes, but almost too much at points. But once you kind of get over that and you accept that this is how it is, I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's super stylish. It plays so smoothly. I played on PC. I actually am sitting here wishing I'd asked for a Switch code, because I think this would be just like the perfect Switch game. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it. If I was to give it like a rating, it's probably like a 9 out of 10. Like I think it's so much fun. I think Tom, you specifically, you love a good 2D platformer. I think you'd like this. It To me, I don't have a long history with the Wario Land games. To me, it scratched a little bit of the 2D Sonic itch, just because of how fast everything you're going, and you don't really like. It's not meticulous platforming like Mario. It's a little more like just kind of go, and I really dug that.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Pizza Tower, a game that came out like
Yeah. Yes.
I think yeah, like last year, yeah, and it has that kind of like rough around the edges, like everyone's a bit like pretty exaggerated and wacky and stuff. So I'm definitely like keen to give this a go. Like I love the art style so much. Yeah, this looks great.
It's giving like Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
those kinds of
Yeah.
animated shows.
I compared it. I said to Gab when I was describing the game as I was playing it, I was like, it's kind of like if Mario and like Ren and Stimpy kind of era television like came together. But I liked it. It is edgy. Like there are like they say bad words like and things like that just for the sake of doing it. But I I don't know. I had fun. I liked it. Oh, the music too. I want to shout out the music. I don't know who did the music, but I want to know because it's great. It's like this just kind of like crunchy, pixely, very, very like it plays into that like I want to almost call it skater punk aesthetic, but like not quite. Like it feels of that era as if you just made this like great kind of like awesome synthy pixelated soundtrack. Yeah, I liked it. It's good, bright and colorful, just great. Burn the retinas.
Yeah, it looks like it isn't on Switch yet, so I guess it's coming out later on, maybe next
It's
year.
coming. The game hasn't like it is coming out. So
Yeah,
like it. I don't think it's officially out yet. The embargo was a few days ago, so
cool.
it's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, that's what we've been playing. Let's get into why we're here. We don't have any news because the Game Awards are the news right now. We are going to be predicting the Game Award winners for 2024. We did it last year. I forget who won. I should have had that information ready to go. I think it was Lauren by like a point or two. But what I
I'll take it.
noticed last year is, as I was going through and just looking, we had a lot of very similar opinions. It
Hmm.
was last year was very much like we all most it felt like most of the gaming industry almost was very of like this game's gonna win this game's gonna win that. I don't know if that's going to be the same this year because it has been a bit of a different video game year. But let's get into all of this. The Game Award nominations are out. They are here. You can go look at them on the Game Awards website. All sorts of GameSpot has stuff, IGN has stuff. You'll find them. So we're gonna go through category by category, make our picks, and then after the ceremony, we will total up points and we will declare a winner. But before we get to all of that, I want to know from the two of you, looking at these nominations, looking at what we know, we don't have to go category by category here, but just anything that stuck out to you when you were kind of looking at these, and what was your initial reaction? Was there anything that maybe there's been some controversy is what I'll say when it comes to this year's Game Award nominations. Was there any reaction from you guys about anything here? Tom, you look confused. You're like, what controversy?
Yeah,
What are you
I
talking
am
about?
kind of like, what controversy? That's interesting because like when I looked through this, I was kind of like, especially with the Game of the Year kind of that category, I thought like, oh, this seems like this could go many different ways. I feel like a lot of times with the Game Awards, you kind of see like one or two front runners, and you're like, okay, it's pretty much guaranteed to be one of these. But for this year, I could honestly see like a lot of these ones taking it, and I wouldn't be like shocked, saddened, or surprised. Like it's kind of refreshing in the way. But no, I think overall, I mean, last year was like a bonza year for gaming. Like, so it's so hard to represent all of that with this. Like last year, I think this year's for my money is like a pretty good spread. But I don't know. I think we'll get into the specifics, but I think it looks all right.
The big issue has been that Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree is nominated for Game of the Year, and it is a DLC expansion. I don't really have strong feelings either way about whether, like, if the game's good enough, it was like a 50-hour experience. So I don't like that's bigger than some other games that come out. But I don't know. Lauren, what are your thoughts about the nominations? Taking a look, did you scoff seeing a DLC nominated for Game of the Year?
I didn't really think about it too much at the time, but I have seen a bit of the discourse. I do wonder if we need, like, maybe the definitions of a DLC are too loose. Because if it was such a like, in-depth 50-hour experience, why not release it as a new game? So I'm not sure. Like, I'm on the fence about it. Like, I'm interested to see if it wins, like, because then that's opening a whole other conversation. Um, I wonder if, because I mean, so how you're saying that the DLC like was pretty? Did you play it? Was it
No, I
quite
didn't. But
hefty?
from what I know, it's like 40 hours, 50 hours long. Like it's quite beefy.
Because there are some games out there that are like, or indies that are quite a lot shorter than that, but are maybe priced at the same level and things like that. I think it's just a strange kind of situation to be in. Like, why call it a DLC? Like, what even is a DLC? Why should it be included? Why should it not be included? Um, yeah, I don't really see a big issue with it at the end of the day. If the game is good, sure, let it win. But also, there is the case that, like, Elden Ring did win kind of recently. Would be nice to see
2 years
something
ago.
else get a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by the same token, like in 2023, like Phantom Liberty, I didn't get like nominated for Game of the Year, but Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty got like best narrative, best performance nominations, best player's voice as well. So I feel like there is probably a
Fair.
conversation to be had with how we categorize DLC. It does feel kind of strange though I guess to relegate it if it is essentially another game, like if like because I haven't played Shadow of the Earth Tree, obviously, like, but a lot of people are saying like it is probably better than a lot of games that come out. So why
Some
shouldn't
people
it
say
get
it's better than
nominated?
Elden Ring. I know a lot of
Yeah,
people who
so
really liked Elden Ring and think the DLC's better than the game it's in.
yeah, so I mean, look, I don't know. I think it deserves some recognition at least. But who knows? People gonna be mad, like I don't know. So
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's go category by category here. I'm going to pull up for the YouTube audience. If you are listening, you can watch the podcast over on YouTube as always, but we'll make this a good experience for you as well. We are going to go through category by category. I'm going to pull up GameSpot, Eddie McCook's basically breakdown they have of all the categories. They did a great job of just listing everything in a nice order, and we will go through and we'll predict them. We are not doing any of the content creator or esports categories because we feel just grossly misinformed about really any and all of them. So unless the two of you have any strong opinions about esports team of the year or content creator of the year, you speak now, I guess. This is your place, but
I'm,
I don't.
I mean, my boy Squeaks, streamer, wasn't nominated for Content Creator of the Year, so I don't have any opinions other than that. So that's all I'm gonna say.
It's a shame. Next year, Squeaks. Next year. Okay, let's get into it. We are starting with the most anticipated game of 2020, I guess 2025, or some of these games. Yeah, most all these will come out in 2025. Okay, most anticipated game. The nominees are Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds.
Is there
Pretty
really
obvious, don't you think?
is there really a conversation here?
I was going to make a case for Ghost of Yote, but I don't know if it's a very good one.
So, okay, before we get into this, so what we're doing here is we're making predictions on like what we think is going to win, rather
What
than
we
what
think is going to
we
win,
want
not
to win.
what we feel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like my answer would be different. I'm like, I probably would be Ghost of Yote, to be honest. But like,
Not Death Stranding 2?
I still need to play the first one. So, yeah, I think it's got to be GTA 6.
Okay, Tom is going down for GTA 6. Do we have a second GTA 6 here, Lauren Rouse?
We do. I think it has the biggest mass appeal. It's going to get the
Yeah.
votes.
I'm also like this. I hate for the first category to not be competitive anyway, but it has to be GTA 6. It's the way it's
We
going.
have not discussed this prior. We're not aligned on
Yeah.
No,
on our
in
votes.
fact, Tom was saying he was busy prepping beforehand. This is the first time I'm seeing some of these nominees. I did no research at all, so we are going right from the heart. Next up is Best Multiplayer. The nominees are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Does anyone want to plant their flag in something right away?
I mean, I'm going to go with what I think will win and what I want to win, which is, of course, Helldivers 2. I can't speak to many of these other games that have come out this year, but as someone who doesn't really engage in that many multiplayers, Helldivers 2 got me. So maybe it got a lot of other people too.
It did. Helldivers 2 was the talk of the town for a long time in 2024. The only thing is it came out a long time ago. Do people remember how much fun they had with Helldivers 2? Because a lot of people had a lot of fun with that game. It just may have been a while ago. I don't know if this is smart. I think to be different, I'm going to say Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Because right now, coming off of the last few years of Call of Duty, everyone right now is saying Call of Duty is back. It's the best Call of Duty has been in however many years. It's finally, the renaissance is here. And I think a lot of people are going to have that recency bias and be like, oh yeah, like I really like Call of Duty. I liked this Call of Duty. I'm going to give it to that and not even look at the rest of the names.
To steal a story from one of my friends, his girlfriend and him have been like really into Call of Duty Black Ops 6 at the moment. And like my girlfriend, my friend's girlfriend couldn't sleep and woke up at 4 in the morning apparently and like played Call of Duty for like 7 hours straight, which apparently she never does. Which goes to show you like how like good this game is and how like it has kind of brought COD like back on the map. Having said that, I'm gonna go with Helldivers 2 as well. This category is pretty stacked though. Like I mean Mario Party Jamboree like is what like maybe the best Mario Party we've like ever had. Tekken 8, amazing. So I don't know. Like I think like there is a lot of competition here, but I think of these, Helldivers 2 delivers like the most unique like experience. All of these other ones kind of like iterate on something that we've gone before, and we've had like PVE games before and stuff in this kind of vein, but nothing quite to this kind of. I don't know. It feels a really cool niche. I think with Helldivers, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. I'd be happy to be wrong. I would if Helldivers won, I would be so happy for that team.
Yeah.
It's also worth noting before we get too further into this, the Game Awards voting, the way it works is that it is mixed votes. It is from majority jury votes, which is, to be on the jury, I think you can be like press or like within the industry, and you're like selected to be on the jury and you cast your votes. And then there are also, I think about 10% goes to fan voting. So anybody can go on, log in, and cast their votes. But the jury vote is going to outweigh the fan vote at the end of the day. If it's a really close race, the fan vote might push something over the edge, but you're probably dealing with majority sort of like critics or insiders in the industry.
I think most anticipated might be the only one that's 100% fan vote. There's one or two, and I think that most anticipated is one of them. Okay, next up is best sports or racing. The nominees are F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Topspin 2K25, and WWE 2K24. My first thought, where is college football? I didn't play that game, but it came back. Like, that franchise had been away for so long. It came back. It's the best-selling sports game of the year, and it's not nominated. Because when I was looking at these categories, I was like, I'll pick college football for that. It's gonna win, but it's not here, so I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, to be honest, I have no insight into any of this. I'm just gonna go purely off of my flatmates really like F1. I don't really like F1, but you know what? This is for them. I'm gonna go with F1 24 because why not?
Okay, Lauren.
I was going to base my vote off whatever you two don't pick. So
Okay,
ahead, Brian.
I am going to pick WWE.
Okay,
I don't know why.
wonderful. I might
I
go
mean-
with EA Sports FC then.
Okay,
And we were saying we were misinformed on the esports and content
Yeah.
creator categories.
Okay. Next up is best sim and strategy game. The nominees are Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. Lauren is
Another
like,
mystery.
I have heard
I
of
swear
some of
I'll
these
get better
games.
at this. Yeah, you go ahead then, Glenn. What have you played?
I haven't played any. I've
Oh, I thought you
heard
said you
of some
played
of these.
something.
No, I've heard of
Okay.
some of these games.
Great. Good start. More than me. I'm going to go with Manor Lords because I think I've read that somewhere.
Okay, Tom, anything?
Of these, I've heard of Frostpunk 2 and Unicorn Overlord. I don't really know. I mean, I was like looking up like images of what Frostpunk is, and it's really not like what I was expecting at all. But I've heard it's very good. So, just off that, I think I'm gonna go Frostpunk 2. But again, like these kind of sim strategy games, yeah, they're not like I'd be willing to try them, but I just haven't really delved into the genre that much. So yeah, it's hard for me to say. But I'll go Frostpunk 2.
Frostpunk 2. I'm also going to go Frostpunk 2. I think that it was critically acclaimed. I think I saw lots of people talking about it, and there we go. Best family game is next. The nominees are Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Plucky Squire. That's it.
Tough one.
Best family game. I don't know if it's very tough. I'm gonna say Astrobot. I just think that of these games, sure, it might not be the best game to play with the whole family. It isn't Super Mario Party, but a lot of these journalists they love Astrobot. We're some of them, and they're going to see this list, and there is only one of these is nominated for Game of the Year, and I think that that makes the case for Astrobot for me.
Yeah, I think this category is normally like the Nintendo category. They just kind of like, hey, let's just throw the Nintendo games in this one. Having said that, I think Astrobot's gonna sweep. So I think Astrobot's gonna win this one.
Okay, Tom has Astro. Lauren?
I do think that Astro will have a sweep in this Game Awards, but I'm going to be different. I'm going to go with Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, just because that was also very well received, and it might be a chance for them to give some love to a game that's not Astrobot.
Okay, there we go. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. The next up is Best Fighting Game. The nominees are Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Multiverses, and Tekken 8. Tom, you're a resident fighting game guru.
And I've played one of these, which is great.
And did you?
Like,
and was it good?
well, I didn't play the re-release, which is Multiverses. And I've heard it's not as good as the original like beta, but I do have Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics right here. I just haven't played it yet. But I also feel like it's obviously great that MVC 2 is back and available to a lot of players, and like this is like apparently a really good way to play it. But at the end of the day, it is like a compilation. Whereas Tekken 8,
A beloved compilation of games that people wanted for a long time.
yeah, but Tekken 8, I feel like I don't know, like and this is one of those other things where it's like it did come out at the start of the year. But I think Tekken 8 did to Tekken what Street Fighter 6 did to Street Fighter. It kind of like brought it back, and has just delivered in a really exciting package. I obviously haven't played it. I really do want to play it at some point. But I think that's kind of where my heart's leaning at the moment. So I'm gonna go Tekken 8.
Okay, Tekken 8. Lauren?
I'm also going Tekken 8.
Okay, well, then it's going to be a clean sweep because I will also be going Tekken 8. I was hoping I could get a point there, but you guys are too smart. Okay, RPG. Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, or Metaphor ReFantasio. What a year for RPGs. Basically, all of these games are what got Klein in the lead of the Fantasy Critic this year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, and this isn't even including some of the games that got you a lot of points, Tom, like Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good year for RPGs. Like,
great year for RPGs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to point out some of the controversy around the nominations here with that Dragon Age, the Belguard got like so few nominations.
Yeah.
And I know that was controversy for
it's a
reasons.
it's a timing thing. Like,
yeah,
you only so many people by the time these nominations could have been sent in would have finished or played Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame it didn't make it. I am going to plant my flag with Elden Ring, simply because of the amount of points you got for it, Klein. It tipped me over the edge.
Yeah, that's
you
a
are going
strategy.
You are going where? Sorry,
Elden Ring.
Elden
Shadow
Ring?
of the Erdtree.
Tom, do you want me to go? Do you want?
I'll let you go first.
I'm going Metaphor.
Okay.
I think that this game has hit a massive, like, it's hit a mass audience, unlike a lot of the other Atlas games have in the past. I think every Atlas game over the last few years has really like gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. When it was Persona 5, and then it was Persona 5 Real Royal, and then it was Persona 3 earlier this year. And Metaphor is just like, people are loving it, and so I really want to play it.
Yeah, me too. Like, and with Metaphor, like I've been in like a lot of conversations with like just people that like, you know, in real life that have been talking about this game, which is like crazy. So that kind of shows like the kind of the breadth of like where this game is kind of just how popular it is, essentially what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like I said, this category is really tough. Like all of these games I feel like have a good shot. But yeah, I'm gonna go FF7 Rebirth. Just because it's good. It's a good game. It's like one of the best RPGs I've played, and I'd like to see it win.
Because you love Chadley.
Not because I love Chadley. That guy could eat rocks.
Lauren has no idea what we're talking about, but just know Chadley, he's not the guy. He's not
Not
the
it.
best.
He's not it.
Okay.
Best action adventure. What does action adventure mean? What's the difference between action and what's the difference between action adventure? Because they're two different categories. Anyways, the game of the best action adventure game nominees are Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah. I think this
Could
category
be
is
any of
dumb.
them. Yeah, exactly.
Because this is the one controversial or the gripe that I have with the Game Awards, I guess, is that like it's crazy that there's not a best horror category.
Mm,
So many good horror games that come out every year, and it's like kind of insane that doesn't get highlighted. So for that reason, I'm picking Silent Hill 2 out of these because it's
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Like
Go, Tom.
I like all of these games. I feel okay, maybe I'll Star Wars Outlaws. Most of these games I feel like have a really good shot of like winning this category. But I think I haven't played Silent Hill 2, but it just sounds amazing. And like so many people were kind of discounting it because of Bloober Team's involvement. But they really showed that they had the source and they really delivered a great game. So yeah, I want to give some love to Silent Hill 2.
Okay. Lauren, are you leaning any particular way?
so yeah, this whole category is kind of like the whole debate with the like drama and comedy at the Emmy Awards. It's like
Yeah.
what defines one or the other? I need more definition, but I don't know. Based on the limited amount of information that I have, I'm gonna go with Astrobot. I think this is the beginning of its sweep.
And I am going to put my money where my mouth is because I keep telling people to play this game, and maybe not enough people play this game for it to win, but I'm saying Prince of Persia
That's fair.
because you want to talk action adventure, it's the best action and adventure in any game I've had this year. So there we go. Okay, next is best action game. Again, whatever that means. Usually, I guess it would be action adventure is when you go on an adventure, and action game is you hit, shoot, or slice things.
I
Sure.
suppose. Yeah.
The nominees are Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2.
I'm going to go left of field here, which may not be left of field to some people, but I think Black Myth Wukong for this one. I know that it was very, very popular and then controversial for
Hugely
reasons.
popular.
But yeah, I reckon that it might win in this one. Although in my heart, it's Helldivers.
It's the only one here that's nominated for Game of the Year.
Black Myth Wukong?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think.
Could be a good
Helldivers isn't
sign.
nominated.
Should be.
Should be.
I'm going to say Helldivers because I didn't do the other category, and now I'm feeling like kind of like maybe I need to lead into the Helldivers hype.
Yeah. This is another tough one, I feel like. But
Stellar Blade still on the board, Tom.
it is, and I want to play that game, but yeah, I'm gonna go Helldivers as well. It's weird as well. It feels weird. I don't know. I don't know why it feels weird. Like that the shooters are in the action. I guess it does make sense.
There's action in the shooters. There's no shooter category.
But it's just I don't know.
Yeah, it should be more defined this way. Be like best action game, including shooters in these other categories. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Next is best VR/AR game. Another category that I'm gonna be throwing a dart at a board. Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger, and Metro Awakening. I'll just say this right now. I played Metal Hellsinger, not in VR though. That game in VR would be awesome. I don't think it's gonna win, but that game would rock. Literally. I think I'm going to go Asgard's Wrath 2. That came out earlier this year and was like, it got a 10 out of 10 from IGN. It was like, oh, finally the reason to have a VR headset. But Batman Arkham Shadow, people are really liking right now as well. But I'm
Yeah,
going Asgard's Wrath.
My strong opinion on this one is that it's going to be Batman Arkham Shadow, purely for name value, but also it did get good reviews, and I think the fact that they could turn the Batman Arkham games into VR itself is like an incredible achievement.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people were kind of scratching their heads of like how can they make the combat of that franchise work in VR. And somehow they made it work and it paid off. So I think I'm gonna go Batman as well. Having not played any of these. But yeah, I have a good feeling about that one.
Okay. Next is best mobile game. We have AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. Guys, there's only one right answer, I think.
You have both talked about two of these on the show, and you both
Yeah.
are addicted to both of them.
But one of them is maybe a perfect video game, and the other one just like gives me pictures of Pikachu every couple days, like twice a day.
Yeah, one of them staves off my anxiety for like 2 minutes, and the other one I genuinely really love. Um, you can decide which one is the one I'm talking about in that situation.
I think this is Balatro. It's gonna be so cool when he wins.
Yeah.
It's gonna be it's one guy. He's gonna get up there. He's gonna be like, I just did this as like a fun project. This wasn't even supposed to be like the full thing. And now I'm standing on the Game Awards stage, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be cool. I would love this. Balatro is nominated for Game of the Year. I would love for it to win Game of the Year. I just don't know if it does, and I think this is where you honor that game.
Interesting. That's an interesting reasoning. I'm gonna go Balatro too, but just because I have faith in it.
Well, I'm going to go Balatro 3 because of every good thing that I've heard about it.
Okay, Balatro all the way through. Next up is the best debut indie game. We have Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire.
This is hard. Those are all, from what I've experienced, good games. And yet I think I'm still leaning Balatro because I think it might
I'm
be
al-
one of those ones that just has staying
Yeah.
power.
I'm also leading Balatro.
I'm also going Balatro. Like, come on.
It's okay. It's fine. He made an amazing. Like, I cannot
Yeah,
believe
it's so
the
good.
staying power of this game, and it's like I don't say this about a lot of things. It's like a perfect game, and it might not be my favorite game of the year, but like it is. I have no qualms with it. There's literally nothing I would change.
Yeah.
Next up,
incredible.
best independent game, so not debut. We have Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50.
It's like, at what point do you stop putting up Balatro, I guess?
I know.
Maybe just to be different, I'm going to say Animal Well because that was a nice game. I never finished it because it was really difficult, but
And
I
people
enjoyed
loved
it.
it.
Yeah,
People like that's
it was cool.
critically acclaimed, and I know some people who have it as their game of the year.
Yeah.
Tom?
I'm gonna keep the streak going. I think it's gonna be Balatro again. Like, and yeah, to be fair, I also it's the only game I've played of these five. But like, yeah, I just have to give it to it. Like, it's just amazing.
I'm going to be different. I'm going to say UFO 50. I think that this game or collection of games, the creator of Spelunky got together with a bunch of dev friends and literally made 50 games for a fictional like NES era console, and like have like this whole thing about it. This is like this long lost console, and it goes from the beginning of its life to the end of its life, and the ones at the end of the life are like way like more improved and are pushing the quote unquote machine further than it did before. I think it's just like so creative, and the people that the gaming people I know who've played it really really love it. I don't know if enough people played it.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that was what the game is about. So that sounds
Yeah.
actually really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's only on PC right now, but like the second it comes anywhere else, I want to give it a shot. Next up is best community support. The nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
Well, the only one of these that I've been involved in is Helldivers 2, and I really enjoy the way that they deliver community support, how it's always in character and appropriate to the theme of the game. And, when it came out, everyone rallied around like, there's the game maker Joel, and now we blame everything on Joel when something goes wrong or something goes right. And I think that's really fun. So I think they've definitely had hurdles this year on the community side, but for the most part, I think it's done very well.
I think that's a strong pick. I think the Helldivers did something community wise that I don't think I'd ever seen done before, where it is like they crafted this almost outside of the game narrative on social media that people were then taking into the game, and like there isn't necessarily a story in Helldivers, but like there was people were more invested in its story than like a lot of other games. I think I'm going to say Baldur's Gate. Coming off of last year, they've just continually like given this community reasons to keep coming back to it. They just announced another new big update where there's going to be new endings and a whole bunch of like features that people have been asking for a long time, and this isn't the first drop like that. They've been constantly doing it, and I didn't think that this like linear narrative RPG would have community support potential, but they've done a very good job of like keeping that community excited about the game, even though it's done. Like they're not doing DLC, they're not doing expansions really for it. Is like kind of like it's out there.
Yeah, like I was looking it up. Like they added like, or they're gonna add like 12 new like subclasses in 2025. Like, and they don't necessarily need to do this, but they seem to do it because like people love it and they seem to love making it. Which is really nice to see. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get Baldur's Gate 3 as well. Like I think it's just nice to see like a single player game be supported in this way. That you don't see a lot of in the industry nowadays.
Next is best ongoing game. The
Now, what does
nominees
this
are.
mean?
What does it mean, Lauren?
What does
That
it
it has to
mean?
be a sequel? Is that what it is?
No, a best ongoing game would be like a live service
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
I guess. I have troubles discerning what is the difference between this and best community support.
Yeah.
Yes, that too. Because
So
also,
I
we'll
think
read the
community
nominees.
support would be interacting with the actual community, whereas this would be like content.
Sure.
Anyways, the nominees are Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2.
So
No
before
Concord.
no Concord. Before we get into it, I have pulled up the Game Awards definitions of what this means. So best ongoing, they've written awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. And just for comparison's sake, I'll read the community support one as well. And it just says recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity, and game updates / patches.
Okay.
So
that helps.
there is a bit of crossover there, but
So Final Fantasy, is this the one that you were all playing earlier in the year?
No.
Oh, this is
This is the
Final
MMO.
Fantasy 14 is
Oh, my bad. Okay.
I'm going to say Diablo 4 because I played that first push when it came out initially last year and dropped off hard. I did not go back. And then all of a sudden, not even when the expansion came out in May, when they did like, oh, we're changing the way loot works, we're doing all this, we're changing the game intrinsically in anticipation of the expansion coming out. I jumped back in and I was more on than I was there at launch. And I think they've done a good job. I haven't gotten to the expansion yet, but I would like to. But Diablo 4 rules, and so that's where I'm putting my flag.
I'm gonna go Fortnite. Look, I mean, Fortnite.
Tom, what notably 2024 has Fortnite done? Like, I'm not asking to like, I'm not prying. I'm just asking like, what have they done? What's the hotness?
Well, look. Okay, so I feel like of the live service games, Fortnite does a really good job of always having something like different. Like they'll always have like early in the year they had like the Marvel season and they'll switch up the map. But not even just that, but like on a weekly or like every couple weeks, like things on the map will change. Um, and that'll inform like the kind of quote unquote lore of the game as well, I guess, if you follow along with that. But I feel like they just do a really good job of like keeping the content really fresh, whereas some other live service games kind of falter with that. And also they just released or they just announced Godzilla, and you can make him wear Air Jordans, and that's really cool. So just
Okay.
saying.
I don't know if there's ever been a cooler image that other than Godzilla wearing Air Jordans.
It's pretty sick. But yeah, I just feel like Fortnite, it does a really good job with that. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to that.
Many would be expecting me to say Helldivers here. However, this is where my gripe with Helldivers begins because I dived back into it when I got my PlayStation here, and to find that nothing had really changed. So I think there is a bit of a lack of ongoing content there. Like, yes, the game still runs and they fix things and all of that, which is great, but I think there is a lack of content. Therefore, I'm going to vote for Diablo 4 with you, Klein.
Cool. Join me in hell. It's great. Warm down here. Next is Games for Impact. The nominees are Indica, Neva, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Tales of Kenzara Zao, and Closer to Distance. Tom, do you have the definition still up? What is
Oh
a
god,
Games for Impact?
I closed it, but I'll bring it
I
back
think
up.
this is like social messaging, isn't it?
Yes,
Like
it
Yeah.
the
is.
games have some kind
Uh,
of theme.
yeah, so it says for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message.
Does Life is Strange Double Exposure have a pro-social?
I don't know.
Have not played, therefore
I'm
do
not
not know. But that did surprise me when I saw it in the list. I was like,
It's
oh, what are
like
they
it's a
talking about this time?
yeah. I don't think it. Okay, it's here.
Sure.
People are like, it made me cry. It's now Games for Impact.
Well, what about Senua's Saga? Like everything I've seen
Well,
of that is
that's
like
all
very
about like
fantasy.
That's all about like
Ah,
like mental health.
yeah, like mental health and
gotcha.
Yeah,
not schizophrenia. Is it schizophrenia when she hears the voices in
I
her head?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a strong opinion, and that is for Neva. I'm giving it my vote because it has a great so many great messages, and its art style is just so beautiful that I think like its message of like nature and healing and climate change and whatever it is that you read out of it is very
Climate
strong.
change or whatever. Yeah.
That old thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also going Neva as well. I think that it it was very effective in its social messaging.
Again, I've not played any of these games, unfortunately, but I'm
No.
going to
Tom
give.
notably hates to feel.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't. I just like fun in my games. No, I'm gonna give my vote to Tales of Kanzera Zhao. Just because like when I saw this game, I thought it looked really cool. And like I just really like that it's kind of highlighting like indigenous cultures in Africa. I think that's like not something you normally see in games. So I think just having that kind of representation is really cool. So I hope we get more games like it.
And it's like a story about it's the voice actor
Mm,
from Assassin's Creed Origins, I forget, and it's his story about like grieving for his dad. Like it's like it
yeah,
is very very personal story set in African mythology, but it is it is about him. So if he won, it would be very cool.
definitely.
Oh, look. Dragon Age the Veilguard, a nomination. Here we go. Innovations in accessibility. We have nominees Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Prince of Persia the Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws.
And the
Yeah, Tom.
definition for this is
Oh Jesus! I keep closing it.
Tom, keep it up.
God
It's
damn.
yours. It's yours
Lawmaster
now.
Tom.
Yeah, that's your corner.
Jesus. Okay, it is recognizing software and/or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience.
Anything? Anyone?
I mean,
Anyone?
I know where. Well, I have two. I'm stuck between Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Prince of Persia because I feel like, and I was looking into this because I'm to be honest, like I don't like engage with all that stuff because I just don't really need to. But it's great that all this stuff is here for people. But Black Ops 6, from what I can tell, added like audio features that help people with hard of hearing like create like these different audio, like custom audio profiles to like aid and be able to just like hear the game properly, which I think is like really cool. I hadn't like heard about that in a game before. But then you have on the flip side Prince of Persia, which makes Metroidvanias, which I feel like is quite like a difficult genre for a lot of people to get into sometimes, because it is kind of like you have to do a lot of like, I guess, remembering, which I suck at. Like but you have to backtrack a lot of the time. But Prince of Persia alleviates a lot of that stuff, because you can like take screenshots and put them on the map or whatever, and like it just makes it really easy, not easy, but like it helps to um make that experience with Metroidvanias a lot more streamlined. And I think that's cool because it's like accessibility for like that, anyone can benefit from that, right? Like that's like good on the whole. So I think I'm gonna go Prince of Persia. Actually, I just feel like that's really cool. That it's like opening the kind of um, Metroidvania genre up a bit.
I think I'm going to go the other way. I think I'm going to go Call of Duty Black Ops 6 because I have seen there's a couple people I follow that are specialized in accessibility and stuff like that. And they were blown away by Call of Duty, that like this is the first Call of Duty that they've ever been able to like to actively play and enjoy because of these new accessibility settings. So that's where I'm going.
I think I'll go a different way again. I think I'm going to give this one to Dragon Age. I was reading earlier that they had like, I think over 50 different accessibility options, which is really cool, particularly when you're having a big open world RPG game like this one. To make it accessible for those people is really cool.
Okay, next is Best Performance. The
Tough.
nominees are Brianna White, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. She plays Aerith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hannah Tell, Life is Strange Double Exposure. Humberly Gonzalez, Star Wars Outlaws. Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2. And Melina Juergens, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. So she plays Senua.
Well, I know where I'm going. I'm gonna go
It's
Brianna Right. Wait,
yeah.
I've had seven rebirth. I just her performance as Aerith is like amazing. Like I think she's so perfect in the role. And like I was looking up earlier, like she hasn't done like much other than that. Like she hasn't done much before it. So to come into this role and just completely smash it, I feel like uh with Aerith, like there is quite like a range to her in a way. Like she can be quite like joyous and happy, but there is like a somber nature to her character. And I think Brianna really like brings it to the role. So I'd love to see her win this.
I think I'm going to do Luke Roberts from Silent Hill 2. He plays the main character, James. And that game is like really about a man unraveling and like slowly descending into madness. And from what I've seen, which is a decent amount, I've watched a lot of people play Silent Hill. It's much too spooky for me to play it myself. He does a very good job. A similar reason to like why I would have probably voted for the Alan Wake voice actor last year. Like it's really hard to, I mean, it's hard to voice act doing anything, but I can imagine it'd be very difficult to like depict somebody who's like slowly going mad.
I think I'm going to go voting with my heart on this one, and I'm going to go with Humberly Gonzalez for Star Wars Outlaws because I think I really loved KVS, and whether or not the motion capture picked up all of the nuances of her performance in the final game, I think she still gave it her all, and she was a great character.
Excellent. Next is Best Audio Design. The nominees are Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Ooh. This is hard. Those Call of Duty games, they do sound like they do sound.
They have sound, you know.
They do. But is it like they're all about like we went out to the sand and hit metal against this gun so that we know exactly what it sounds like when with all that said though, I think that there's nothing more delightful audio design wise that I've had this year than when I'm like the tinging along of the metal feet of Astrobot along like a metal
Mm.
surface, or when he jumps into like a pit full of like nuts and bolts, and like each one of them is making these nice little like twinkly noises.
Mm.
So I think I'm gonna go Astrobot.
I think this is the only time I'll probably go away from Astrobot. I think I'm going to go with Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. I can't exactly pinpoint why, but I think in its marketing, those first trailers, like there was a big thing about like surround, or like 360 audio sound and audio sound. I don't know the technical terms, for those reasons. So I think I'll go with that.
Yeah, this is hard because like I mean, yeah, I've played Astrobot and I've played FF7, but like you, Klein, I feel like with Astrobot, like especially the way the DualSense like works, I thought like it was really cool how like it becomes it's like 3D. Like it's cool how you hear the little tinks in the controller and that sort of thing. Having said that though, I'm gonna give it to Silent Hill 2 because it's so important in like horror games to get like the atmosphere right. And like from what I've seen of Silent Hill 2, like it just gets it. And it really immerses you in that horrible, like terrifying world of Silent Hill. And I think they did a really good job with that. So I think I'm gonna give my vote to them.
Okay. Next is best score and music. This is a category: Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. Tom's conflicted right now.
Man, this is so hard. Like, this is actually so tough and it's tough because like I literally went into a concert for one of these soundtracks this year, and I'm
Mhm.
still conflicted. Like, that's how you know like Astrobot like really did a good job with the soundtrack. I was really blown away with it, especially like they got the remixes in there, but like all of the original tracks are just so delightful and fun. But no, I have to go with my heart. I have to go with FF7. It has the dog theme like alone. I think it's kind of swayed me. Um, it's just yeah, it is great.
Lauren, what do you think? Do you have any strong feelings?
I am going to go with Astrobot because of the 4 or 5 levels I've seen so far. They're all delightful and all very different and very catchy, and I like it a lot.
I like his theme song because it says its name and he's like Astrobot.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. I think I'm genuinely conflicted between three. The one name that we haven't brought up is Metaphor ReFantazio, which I have not played, but I cannot escape the battle theme from this game. It is everywhere. It is so good. We're gonna get the opera man, singing his opera music at the Game Awards, and it's gonna be amazing. However, I don't know if the rest of the soundtrack is that good. Final Fantasy VII's soundtrack is just like the breadth of it is incredible. It like there's just so much amazing music, and so I think I'm gonna go Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, mainly for the dog theme.
Yeah, the dog theme
Tom,
is just
can you hum us a little ditty?
bow wow wow bow wow wow
There we go. Thank
bow
you.
wow wow bow wow wow. That's it. It's
Next
a
is
great.
best art direction. We have Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor ReFantazio, and Niva.
I really want it to be Neva. It's so beautiful.
It is
So I think I
beautiful.
will vote for them just because again, something different from Astrobot. And really stunning, and I hope it kind of brings awareness to their incredible design. However, I also really love Astrobot's art direction, just putting it out there.
Tom,
Yeah,
do you want to go? Are you
I'll go. Yeah. I'm gonna go Astrobot. I think and all of these I think really deserve to be here. Like they're all so different as well. Like I mean, you can if you're watching YouTube, you can see the Elden Ring one. Like it's just that looks insane. Like what the hell? But yeah, I love how cohesive the art direction is with Astrobot and like how all the different like everything's robots like so and they make that work really well. And just the level designs as you go through are also varied and different. Like they know their aesthetic and like what to adhere to, but they manage to take that like to its furthest extent. I really love it for that.
maybe I'm like in my like JRPG like bubble, my echo chamber, And so I'm debating between Elden Ring and Metaphor. Astrobot wasn't up there. And I mean, Neva's beautiful. I think I'm gonna do Elden Ring just because that game was, from what I played of the base game, is incredible, and the stuff I've seen from Shadow of the Erd Tree is like, as you said, Tom. Look at that screenshot. Like that's
Hey,
it's kind of ridiculous. Oh, so yeah, Elden Ring. It's a different kind of art direction than Astrobot, but it's
yeah.
it is just as justified. Okay, next is Best Narrative. We have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor Refantasio, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
Hmm.
I know.
Yeah. I think so. This is tough because like it's interesting too because yeah, of the games I played at this, I've only played FF7 Rebirth. And to be honest, like the narrative is like one of the weaker parts of the game for me. Like I there are
It's
some
got
things they do
moments.
with it. It's got great moments, but I just think it doesn't all come together like as neatly as I would like. So I wonder if like people voting might feel similar in that way. So I think I'm gonna go with Metaphor Refantasia, just because I think the way it's been described to me sounds really cool. Of like the story is like everything's about deconstructing metaphor and like and story as a whole. And the way that it sounds like it's exploring that sounds really fascinating to me. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to that.
I think I'm gonna go Final Fantasy VII. I know that this like the story's messy. I don't know if I'd call it weak, but it's messy, and we don't really accomplish a lot. But the moments in it are incredible. Um, so I'm doing FF7.
I think I haven't played any of these, but I think I'm going to go with that as well, just simply based on what you two were telling me earlier in the year when you were playing it.
Hmm. Here's a category. I think Lauren, you have seen everything in this. Best adaptation. We have Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. It's Knuckles, right? Wade
It's
Whipple.
Knuckles.
Remember, he went
It's
bowling,
Knuckles.
guys.
Come on, Knuckle sweep.
Now this is a category. We all know that the winner is Ella Pennell, who's nominated twice for 2 shows, which is awesome. Here's the thing: the popular vote might go towards Fallout, just because I think that has a wider reach, whereas as we've talked about, Arcane might be fairly niche. But in terms of what I think is the best, I think it's got to be Arcane, particularly seeing as this was the last season. This could be its last chance to sort of like get some of that acclaim before it like finishes forever. And it was an excellent season. We just spent a month talking about it, so that's where I'm going.
Are you worried about these nominations maybe coming in before the series is over?
That's fair. It's a fair point. It's interesting that they didn't wait, but I guess the Game Awards aren't as strict as some of the like the
No.
Emmys or the
Yeah,
Oscars. So it's the
Jeff
Game
does what he
Awards.
wants. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the game trailer show, and there are some awards at the show.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
But
true.
yeah, that you're right. It's a fair consideration, but I think for the most part, people are happy with it, and like they love Arcane for what it is, whether or not
Yeah.
they were
I think
satisfied
it's
with
I
the
think
ending.
it's a testament for how strong it started that it's
Yes.
here, because like how late like these nominations would have been, like the first 3 episodes were public, I think, by the time these things. So I think that you could see an Arcane bump, especially because it just ended. Tom, it's Knuckles, right?
Yeah, it's Knuckles. Lock it in. Lock it in. The episode where Wade dresses up in a Knuckles hoodie and he reenacts Knuckles' life. It was amazing. Let's give it to that.
Lord
No,
Pachacamac was there. Remember, it was awesome.
that was his
Yep. For the
name. Oh,
listeners, we do have an episode on that if you want to hear our real thoughts.
if you really want to listen to what we thought of it. No, I think it's for me. I think I'm gonna go with Arcane. And like Fallout, it does. It's got some legs to it. I feel like that those two. I could see it going either way, but I just feel like Arcane's one of the best shows of all time, and I think that's going to get recognized here. So yeah, I'm going to go Arcane.
I'm gonna go Fallout. I think that Fallout was a absolute delight when it came out. I think that it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know. I thought it was going to be good, but even then, it surprised me, and I'm really looking forward to season 2. And I think being the breakout might benefit it, being this like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, and having people jump in and really, really enjoying it. So Fallout is my answer. We only have 2 more categories, which is kind of bonkers, but we have been here for over an hour, so that makes sense. Next up, best game direction. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Fantasio.
Do you want me to read the description for this one?
Yeah, because I think these are the exact same nominees as Game of the Year, as the exact same nominees as Game of the Year.
So this is described as awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
I'm going to say something, and I think it's going to be the best moment of the entire night. I think Balatra's going to win this. I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year, but I think even though it is like you think game direction and you look at all of these games and it's like Astrobot, this sprawling love letter to PlayStation, this amazing 3D platformer, quite possibly the best 3D platformer in the last decade, maybe the last 25 years. You have Black Myth Wukong, this crazy high budget Chinese breakthrough, like Souls like action RPG. Elden Ring, again, massive scale, huge. Final Fantasy, giant, just the biggest, like so much production value. Metaphor Refantasio, again, sprawling. And then you have Balatro. But Balatro, you want to talk game direction, Balatro is like a vision that was accomplished by one dude. And I think that is like going to win voters over. And he knocked that vision out of the park. Like you could not do this better than it currently has been done.
Yeah, that's a very good argument for Balatro, honestly. Having said that, I'm gonna go Astrobot. Just because it really could go. It could go, like I said earlier, it could go many ways. Like I feel like all of these really deserve to be here. But I just like in terms of like innovation, like the 3D platforming genre, like this really took it to another level, and I didn't think we would get something like this. So for that alone, I think I'm going to give it to that.
I'm going to say Astrobot as well for pretty much the same reasons as Tom. But yeah, I think, like I was saying before, just the attention to detail in every single aspect of this is unbelievable. And I think it all comes together in a way that is a beautiful vision. So that's where I'm going.
It is crazy thinking about Astrobot, just how they took the like bar of quality of the PlayStation first party game and like grafted that onto a 3D platformer. I think that says a lot for what they can do, because I think people usually think, oh, PlayStation first party, use third person action where you're caring for some companion. Like that's kind of what it has become. But they did something special there. Okay, game of the year, the final category, the big one, the thing they end the whole show on until this year when they debut the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer at the end of the show. I'm calling it right now. We have Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio. No Prince of Persia, and that makes me so upset.
I can go first.
Sure. Let's go. Lauren, what's up?
I'm sticking with Astrobot. I think that it broke through in a way that maybe some of these others didn't, and it had like, yeah, again, a mass appeal that perhaps, yeah, some of these didn't. I think they are all excellent games. I think they all are worthy of being there. But I just think Astrobot's on another level because it's such a love letter to an entire generation of games. And the way it weaves that in together is pretty incredible. So I think that's where I'm going.
Tom, do you want me to go and you can go last?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I think looking at this lineup of games, that Astrobot's going to win, and this isn't taking anything away from Astrobot. I think it's truly a remarkable game. This is going to be a contentious vote, and it is really going to be like, I don't know if Astrobot is going to be the number one choice for a lot of people, but I think it will be the number one choice for like the most, if that makes sense. Like there, or it'll appear on, I don't know how they do this, if it's ranked voting or not. If it was ranked voting, it would be like the 2 or 3 for a lot of people and 1 for some people, and it would win based on that, because everyone else, like, it's on everyone's ballot, I guess, if that makes sense. um I think that it's the most mass appeal beloved game of the year.
Yeah, I could see that happening for sure. But having said that, I think I'm going to plant my flag in Balatro. I would love to see Balatro win
It would
Game
be
of the Year,
amazing.
because like you look back at the game of the year winners. I guess Larian is like, its own studio, but like other than that, everything is basically like a AAA release. So I'd love to see an indie like this get it. And like you saying earlier, Klein, Balatro is a perfect game. It's crazy that like it makes me want to gamble. Like, does that sound bad? Like, that's crazy. Like, it takes like this concept of poker and just kind of like takes it apart and makes it so addictive and fun and unique in its own way. And like just the music, the art style, everything about it feels so meticulously put together and perfect that yeah, I really love this game, and I'm shocked how much I love it, honestly. So yeah, I think this, like you said, Klein, this is going to be like a contentious category, I think, because all of these have a very good argument to be made. But I'm gonna stick with Balatro.
If Balatro won, it would be like, it would be special. Like, it would be like instantly an all-timer game of the year moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's every category. I'll stop sharing the article. Again, you can go over to GameSpot. Eddie McCook's, his article over there has everything lined up, super easy to read through. If you weren't watching, or if you were watching along, go give him the click, because we just scrolled through it for the last hour. Okay, any final thoughts? Are we excited for the Game Awards?
Yeah.
Yes. I look forward to it every year, even though, yeah, sometimes it's less focused on the awards and more on the marketing and the promotion of other things. It is always a fun time to watch.
It's the closest thing to like a industry-wide celebration that we
Yeah.
have, and I think that that's really cool. You get to see icons on stage together. I always look forward to the Game Awards symphony being there and playing the
Hmm.
Game of the Year songs and things like that. So, Tom, are you excited? Are you amped?
I am. Yeah, like you guys, I think it's always fun to see what Jeff's got cooking up. I'm just kind of wondering what he's gonna bring this time. Do you guys have any predictions? How many DoorDash plugs is he gonna do this time?
Will Schick Hydro Man be there?
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know what to expect. Like, I'm sure Nintendo's probably gonna have like some kind of announcement. They usually have something
They
that they
didn't
bring to
last
this.
year.
Yeah, so
It was
maybe
like
they're
the first
making
year
up
in
for
a
that this year.
while.
I guess with the Switch 2 on the horizon, it's a bit tougher for them to like find something for Jeff's show. But I'd like to see a Nintendo announcement of some kind. Maybe one final game that they can squeeze out before the Switch 2. I don't know.
Bloodborne,
Uh,
60 frames per second. It's happening.
Okay. Okay.
it is PlayStation's 30th anniversary this year, so it could happen, and they might have something special planned. I think we're seeing GTA 6 at the show.
That would be
And
insane. That would be crazy. I love it, but that would be the biggest trailer to ever appear at a Game Awards
I
ever.
think if Jeff can lock that down, he's got a show. I also think we might see Death Stranding 2, something from that. Maybe
Yeah.
Norman Reedus will show up, maybe a new cast member. I would love if we heard something from Naughty Dog. I know there's a lot of talk happening right now about the rumors of what is potentially being cooked up over there. Maybe this is where we see it. I also think there could be something from The Last of Us Season 2. Maybe a new trailer, maybe a something,
Mm.
an announcement. That's a lot of predictions, but hopefully one of them will happen.
Yeah.
You can let us know what you are excited for with the Game Awards, your predictions, what you thought, who you think's going to win, Game of the Year picks over on social media. You can follow the show at controller_club on Twitter, at controller club pod on Instagram, and at controller.club on TikTok. Also, you can watch the show. We just did basically a video podcast. It's up on YouTube. Check it out if you haven't. We're putting up every episode as well as best segments from the show and YouTube shorts, kind of trying out the video thing and having fun with it. You can find us youtube.com/@controller_club. Also, rate, review us wherever you're listening. Subscribe on YouTube, leave us a comment, do the thumbs up, ring the bell. Am I missing anything from the YouTube side of things? I think that's all the interactions.
Sounds all right.
Interact with us. It helps out.
Yeah.
And send in if you have any concerns or anything at all, you can send us an email, controllerclubpod@gmail.com. Tom Drew, if people want to come at you for your Astrobot takes today, where could they do that?
Yeah, if you want to at me, you can at me at Tom Drew Art on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, pretty much everywhere. Nothing in the works at the moment. Tune in and find out, I guess. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Lauren, what about you? Do you have anything exciting coming up?
You can find me at lrouse19 on the socials. Mainly, I'm trying to get off Twitter, so mainly more Blue Sky. I don't know. Maybe I'll get off social media altogether. Who knows? Nothing to promote right now, but stay tuned as I see if my orders return and also what games I get up to on the PS5 now that I have one.
Awesome. You can keep up with me everywhere. I'm at the Kleinfelt, TheKleinFelt, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky. I did the whole Blue Sky roast thing that's happening. You go on a link, you type in your account, and it gives you, based on what your profile is, what your title on Blue Sky should be. I got a good one, guys. Okay, I am the gaming enthusiast we didn't know we needed over on Blue Sky. So come over to Blue Sky, follow me there. It's a whole lot of fun. That's going to do it for this episode of Controller Club. Enjoy the Game Awards. Thank you so much for listening. Now, let's get gaming.